Well, if you're new to this channel, my name is Piers. I invest in service accommodation business. I've helped loads of clients through my sourcing. So if you're looking to start service accommodation business, you want to understand service accommodation business, I work with one-to-one client. I also do consultation in terms of your branding, really scaling up your business, but also have an online program. So if you want to learn a lot more by your own, step-by-step process, I've done a full detailed videos, step-to-step guide on this online program, which I'm going to leave the link down below. Yep, as you've probably seen it from our title of the video. Now this video is to let everyone know that anyone can start Airbnb business. Now, obviously in UK, we normally say it's service apartments, depending on the way you do the business. But yes, you are right, anyone. And today's video, I'm going to show you some of the stories I've actually come across myself. And I really wanted to open doors for people that's looking to start service accommodation journey or Airbnb business around the world, or in the UK. I must say that it's been a quite different journey for me in service accommodation, especially if you're in this business. You will meet a lot of people, you will talk to a lot of people, and obviously there's always people exchanging details and understanding of Airbnb business in general. Now this specific story was actually I was just having a coffee in a normal place I go to, quite local to me, and this couple we're talking about, I just overheard them talking about Airbnb. Well, yeah, I must say this opportunity was quite different, and obviously I shared a lot of time in social media how different people are leveraging Airbnb or service accommodation business. But in general, this I've now they're a client of mine, because obviously the time when I share this in detail, later on in this video, you'll understand why they've now turned a client of mine, and an opportunity again for people who are starting service accommodation business and Airbnb business. This is a great opportunity how you can absolutely find different kind of clientele and actually make an amazing return for your time investment that you're going to do with this client. So without further ado, let me share you a story. I'll show you some of the figures as well, so it kind of gives you an understanding of about how anyone can start or leverage Airbnb business if you are in a location which is going to attract you. So you've got a location which is your own property that you've got. That attracts a massive events. Now we're talking events that's going to be it's going to bring 20,000 or thousands of people from all over the world, including the local, even through the country. That's going to attract you, let's say in every 2 years, right? A lot of time you'd be surprised what happens is you can now see in every 2 years when that events happen, that location demand goes absolutely through the roof. Now, the specific location I'm talking about for the couple, we're talking the nightly rates are anywhere, let's say for a 2-bedroom, they could get anywhere up to, I'd say about 145, and potentially to the weekends, they're achieving about 180 per night, right? That's a standard rate they're achieving, right? However, in the event time, which is every 2 years, the nightly rate in that location goes up to £500, especially for that week. Right, £500 per night for a 2-bedroom apartment in that location, which is, now you could imagine all the hotels are absolutely increasing their prices, they're fully booked. Now what happens is, the service apartments are obviously attracting a lot more attractions anyway. Now there are people out there who do not plan for those dates, and eventually people are very clever. Those clients are always looking at those events, and some of the bookings I know of, people booking straight after 2 years. If your calendar's open, they will book after the event for the next 2 years as well. So what they like to do is they like to secure the calendar. Now this is why we need to make sure, as service apartment owners, if you've got an event or location where it attracts a lot of events, you've got to make sure the nightly rate's absolutely through the roof. Now, in this case, so a standard rate of 145, 500 per night. The demand's like 110% occupancy, which means people are absolutely looking for throughout that. Generally happens over that week, There's events going on, I think just only on a 2 days event, but people come in 2 days prior or 2 days later, they stay because they come and actually see the event and do a lot more stuff as well. So eventually what people like to do is book stuff for 2 nights mainly, but also for the whole week. Now, what they found, what the couple I've been speaking to, what they've found is they've actually found that they're actually attracting businesses from around the world who wants to get their staff in for the preparation of the event, which means their staff needs to arrive we'll say at least 3 weeks prior to the event. Now that itself, because they've got to send a staff of 5 people in total, or sometimes I know of staff coming in groups of 10, they would need either hotels, they would need either SAs and stuff like that. So eventually, what this couple did was they've started to rent their own property. Now that is a completely different setting. It's a 3-bedroom house with a massive garden. There's private home, but they've got an extra loft as well, where what they've tend to do is when this events happen, they take all their private stuff straight to the loft and actually leave it in the room, the extra rooms, and lock it up. So they've got 2 different rooms. They ideally lock that all up, which means obviously the house is now much more clear to not just personalized it. It was much more to anyone can come in and stay. From what I know, and they actually said to me, what they do is they actually lock their master bedroom. So because it's a 3-bedroom house, they lock one of their room, which is their own room, and they've got 2 spare rooms for the kids and stuff. What they tend to do is they just literally let it out as a 2-bed house with obviously all the amenities, the sofa beds and stuff like that. So from the conversation I had, they were saying they were achieving £395 per night, which is, again, I personally know that because of the conversation we've now had, and it's quite local to me. £500 per night is generally what people would charge for a 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom / kind of 4-sleep property, but they're charging £395, which means they're actually still attractive in pricing. What they do is now fascinating that they put 2-bedroom property live, obviously on Airbnb for that time period only, and turn it into request to book, which means they will only accept as long as everything's checked. They're happy with who the client is, what company they're coming from, where they're coming from, and as long as they're all happy, they're charging £395. And from what I know, they tend to do it for 14 nights, which is 2 weeks only. Now, the best thing about that is 395 times 14 nights. That's £5,530 in 14 days. And what they tend to do is they will take the whole family on a lovely holiday for that amount, for 14 nights, and great. What an absolute great idea to start an Airbnb business, to have your house actually let out to professional people. Then that you don't have to worry about anything at all. They also then realise that actually not only they're making money, they're actually getting a free holiday, because the payment itself is actually making them pay for their flights, their hotels, and they have a nice family. They go out on a great holiday for 14 nights and come back to their home. Now guys, I know there's people out there who would not like to do it because it's personal preference. It is your personal home and you do not want to, but at the same time, for 14 nights, you've had an amazing holiday and actually done an Airbnb business. Effectively, you've had a great holiday for free because the 14 nights has paid it for for themselves. So guys, I think this is quite different. There's so many people, I'm sure, in the world, also in the UK at the moment, using this and actually creating themselves a free holiday every 2 years, nice family holiday out, and absolutely being paid, none from your own pocket, actually being paid from the service they're providing through Airbnb. But in the back, they've been very clever that they do the right checks. They're only confident because Airbnb has got a little request to book, which means you can only first request and have that conversation. And the gentleman's actually proactive, and I think he works for IT, and he said, Piers, I actually know who comes in now because they've already done it for 2 years on the plot. So they're quite happy now to qualify certain questions, qualify everything, you know, the type of staff or, you know, clients they're going to get. And eventually, you know what, great that they're booked in 14 nights. I mean, I know that 395, we're going to hopefully plan something to work together to increase those nightly rate, and also have a management in place for them for the 2 weeks while they're away, and they can even absolutely leverage about not worrying what's happening out here working with myself. So great, £5,530 in 14 days, just because there's a great event happening, you know, every 2 years, a free holiday. Now, a little disclaimer here is, I do understand that, you know, not everyone would prefer to do this because obviously it's your personal home, and I appreciate that, but you know what, this is how a lot more people in the industry of Airbnb is now leveraging, you know, making money and also having, you know, a free holiday worth that much, because I know there's places out there for 4 people you could spend, that's a very healthy amount you can spend, and actually not worry about you paying it for the, you know, paying from your pocket, actually be you're paying from the revenue you're generating from the property. I've also done a video about how to start Airbnb business, kind of, you know, the main topic that you've got to worry about, the strength, the weaknesses. So I am going to leave the link down below. So if you're new to Airbnb business, you're thinking about, you know, to start an Airbnb or service apartment business, I'll leave the link down below, so please go and check it out. The video's got so much detail, so that eventually, once that you understand, I hope you, well, first of all, I hope you understood how this, you know, couple were actually making the most every 2 years, but also in the back end of, you know, the running of Airbnb business, what's involved is actually covered in that video as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I do videos at the moment every single day. I appreciate if you could give us a like, a subscribe to this channel, and I will be back with another video.